Ladies, let me ask you something. What if the most powerful response to betrayal is no response at all? When a man does you wrong, the instinct is to lash out, to cry, to scream, to type out that long emotional text or post a story aimed directly at him. Why? Because that's what we've been conditioned to do. That's what he expects. He's braced for drama, ready for tears, anticipating the storm. But here's what he's not ready for: a woman who doesn't play by those rules. A woman who doesn't react but responds with silence, self-respect, and grace. You see, men are used to chaos when they mess up. They've learned how to deflect blame during arguments, how to twist your words when you're emotional. But what truly confuses a man, what truly shakes him, is a calm woman. A woman who steps back, holds her head high, and refuses to let her emotions be controlled like a puppet on strings. It's not about mixed signals or emotional games. It's about clarity, control, dignity. Let's be honest, when a man hurts you, it hurts. Of course you want him to know the pain he caused. Of course you want him to feel it. But here's the truth: the moment you give him a big emotional reaction, you're handing him power. You're showing him that no matter what he did, he still has control over how you feel. But when you take that power back, when you stop reacting and start responding, that's when everything changes. Instead of sending that 3-paragraph message explaining how much he broke you, you send nothing. You let your silence echo louder than words ever could. You stop proving your worth to someone who was never worthy in the first place. You walk away with the poise of a queen who refuses to beg for what should have been given freely: respect. And here's the kicker: men aren't built to handle that kind of energy. They know how to handle yelling. They can deal with tears. They can survive being cursed out. But what terrifies them is a woman who simply lets go. A woman who says thank you for the clarity and never looks back. No begging, no chasing, no can we talk, just peace and presence and purpose. Because while he's stuck overthinking what just happened, wondering why you didn't fall apart, you're already focused on yourself, healing, growing, glowing. Remember, these men don't learn from explanations, they learn from experience. And when he realizes you won't give him the chaos he expected, only your calm absence, that's when the real lesson begins. So don't waste your energy trying to make him see your value. Just become the kind of woman he'll regret losing for the rest of his life when he sees that you're not reacting, that you're not playing his game, that you're elevating instead of engaging. That's when it hits him. That's the moment he starts to question everything. Did I just lose something great? And believe me, that thought will shake him far more than any emotional outburst ever could. You see, when a man hurts you, he assumes you'll fall apart. He believes you needed him more than he needed you. He expects his absence to break you, to see you waiting, missing, hoping he'll return. But what he doesn't expect is for you to rise, to become stronger, better, and more radiant without him. That's why the most powerful thing you can do is simple: focus on your glow up. Not the pain, not the past, not trying to make him regret. Just you, because men operate from ego. They believe they're the center of your world. And when they mess up, they expect proof that their absence has shaken your life. That's why they stalk your stories, ask mutual friends about you, or randomly text just checking in. They're not checking in because they care. They're checking for signs you still care. They want to know you're still hurt, still thinking about them, still emotionally tied. But when they peek into your life and see you thriving, that's when it stings. Because nothing confuses a man more than a woman who's glowing, and he's no longer the reason. That's why you don't waste time trying to make him regret losing you. You just become the woman he can't believe he lost. Go to the gym, not for revenge, but because your body deserves strength. Chase your dreams, not to show him, but because your future demands it. Upgrade your look, build your confidence, and surround yourself with people who remind you how worthy you've always been. Because when you invest in yourself, When you pour into your own growth, you naturally become the kind of woman who commands respect without even saying a word. And here's what happens next. Suddenly, he remembers why he was once drawn to you. He realizes he took something rare and beautiful for granted. But it's not just about how you look, it's the energy you carry. A woman who knows her worth moves differently. She speaks with calm confidence. She doesn't beg for love, she attracts it. And when he sees that, when he realizes you've completely detached from the belief that he was necessary for your happiness, he won't know what to do with himself. That's the power of the glow up. It's not about proving anything to him, it's about proving everything to yourself. It's about rising, not out of anger, but out of love for your own future. It's about showing yourself that you are already whole, already enough. Because let's be real, nothing is more attractive than a woman who is calm, confident, and completely unstoppable. And when he finally realizes he was never the source of your joy to begin with, that's the moment he truly understands what he lost. When a man no longer sees you reacting, no tears, no yelling, no chasing, it starts doing something to his mind. It triggers a shift, a discomfort, because that silence, that complete disengagement from the chaos he tried to bring into your life, it forces him to do something he rarely ever does: reflect. See, men don't reflect when you're arguing. They don't have breakthroughs while you're writing paragraphs trying to explain how they hurt you. They don't gain clarity while you're in emotional distress, pouring your heart out, hoping they'll finally get it. But when you step back, when you detach completely, when you stop playing the game entirely, that's when something changes. That silence, it becomes a mirror. It forces him to face himself with no distractions, no drama, and no emotional safety net. He's left alone with the weight of what he did, and that's when the reality starts to sink in. A man will always remember the woman who walked away with dignity, not the one who begged, not the one who argued, not the one who tried to prove her worth. He remembers the one who removed herself calmly, completely, and let her absence speak volumes. Because here's the truth most people don't realize: peace is unsettling. For a man who thrives on control, when he can no longer pull you into his chaos, when you stop chasing, stop defending, stop explaining, he starts losing his grip. His power fades, and nothing confuses a man more than realizing he no longer has access to the emotions he once toyed with so easily. When you choose peace, you change the entire dynamic. You stop reacting impulsively. You become intentional. You don't prove your worth to him, you remember your worth for yourself. And when that happens, something powerful unfolds. You free yourself. You stop carrying the heavy burden of trying to change someone who was never going to change. You stop wasting energy on someone who never saw your value. You take all that energy and turn it inward into healing, into growth, into peace. And here's where it really hits him: when he sees you found peace without him. When you're not angry, not bitter, not looking for closure, just calm, still, unshaken. That's when he starts questioning everything. Why isn't she upset? Why isn't she fighting for me? Why does she look happier without me? That's when he realizes you've moved on. You've stopped needing his validation. You've found something far greater: yourself. Choosing peace doesn't mean you weren't hurt. It doesn't mean you didn't care. It means you respect yourself enough not to let someone else's behavior rob you of your joy. It means you trust that what's meant for you will never ask you to beg, chase, or sacrifice your dignity. And when you truly master that, you become untouchable. Because a peaceful woman is a woman who no longer allows anyone to disrupt the love she has for herself. Yes, when a man does you wrong, the first instinct is often to prove a point, to show him what he lost, to make sure he knows how badly he messed up. But here's the thing: you don't need to prove anything to someone who took you for granted. The real power move: walk away like it didn't faze you, and let your life, your evolution speak for itself. Because here's what most people don't understand: distance is the loudest message you can send. when a man still thinks he has a hold on you, he starts looking for signs. He checks to see if you're still hurting, still stalking his social media, still asking mutual friends about him. And if he finds even a glimpse of that energy, he thinks, she still cares, I still matter. But when he finds nothing, no signs, no signals, no emotional breadcrumbs left behind, it shakes him, because it means he's lost access to you. And no man is ever prepared for that. That's why walking away without creating a scene is the most powerful way to confuse a man who hurt you. While he's expecting you to fall apart, you're over there, quietly putting yourself back together. While he's waiting for you to reach out, you're too busy growing, thriving, glowing, to even think about him, and by the time he realizes what he had, you're already 10 steps ahead. You're no longer that woman who would have taken him back. You're no longer sitting by the phone, hoping he changes. You've grown past him. You've healed. You've elevated to a place he can no longer reach. That's why men always come back, not when you cry, not when you plead, not when you try to make them see. They come back when you genuinely don't care anymore, when your energy is no longer tied to them, when you're fully focused on your own life, when their absence doesn't affect your mood, your mind, or your mission. That's when it hits them they miscalculated, and by the time he realizes he lost a good woman, you've already become a great one, because that's the thing about time. You don't waste it on those who didn't value it. You don't pour love into someone who couldn't recognize it. The moment you take your time, your attention, your heart away from the wrong person, you create space for the right one to find you. And that's when you truly win. So after you've walked away, after you've let go and leveled up, what comes next? Peace. And not just any kind of peace. Powerful peace. The kind that silences noise. The kind that confuses those who once thought they had control over you. You see, when you're still trying to prove a point, still trying to show them how badly they hurt you, still trying to make them feel the way they made you feel, that only shows one thing: they still have power over you. Because if you were truly free, if you had genuinely moved on, you wouldn't care about revenge. You wouldn't spend your energy plotting comebacks or playing emotional chess. You'd be too busy living your life, too busy healing, growing, thriving, too focused on you to even look back. That's the real flex. Peace, not because you're weak, not because you're letting them off the hook, but because you finally understand something they never will. Your energy is sacred, and it's far too valuable to waste on someone who never appreciated it in the first place. When you choose peace, you take back control. You make a conscious decision that no matter what someone did to you, you will not let that define your future. You refuse to let their actions decide your happiness. You draw a line and you choose to protect your mind, your heart, your emotional well-being. And you do it all without bitterness, without resentment, without the need to make a scene. And you know what? That's exactly what confuses them. Because people like that, they expect rage. They expect pettiness. They're used to pushing buttons and watching others fall apart. But when you give them nothing, when you stay grounded, centered, and calm, it unsettles them. They start questioning everything. Why isn't she angry? Why isn't she reacting? Why didn't she try to clap back or fight for attention? That's when they realize they never had the power they thought they did. Because choosing peace isn't about pretending you were never hurt. It's not about ignoring your feelings or sweeping the pain under the rug. It's about prioritizing your healing over holding on to the past. It's understanding this powerful truth: what's meant for you will never require you to lose yourself. And sometimes, the greatest act of self-love is walking away without explanation. Not because they deserve peace, but because you do. You deserve peace in your soul, clarity in your heart, and space in your life for better things that nourish you, not deplete you. Because at the end of the day, true power isn't found in revenge. It's found in restraint, in choosing not to go low when someone drags you there, in turning away from what's toxic and never looking back. That's when the real blow-up begins, not just on the outside but within. Because when you carry yourself with grace instead of anger, when you choose peace over proving a point, you don't just recover. You rise, you elevate to a level that most people will never reach, a level where you no longer react to noise, because you found harmony in your silence, and that is what truly makes you powerful.